Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Every episode microplot is a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macroplot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today, we are playing the mechanics from a game called Pocket Gumshoe. It's our first time playing. It's actually not. It's our third time playing. So we might make some mistakes. If you enjoy these mechanics, you could find Pocket Gumshoe on Drive-Thru RPG. Build your own Pocket Gumshoe character and play a game with friends. Speaking of friends, today we are joined by Hefty.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hefty.Elphus. I have 5 points in athletics, 10 points in health, 8 points in preparedness, 10 points in sense trouble, 7 points in shrink, and 10 points in stability. And then I'm going to be, this is the person voicing Hefty, I'm going to be learning a cool Muppet voice for Hefty this season and a cool ukulele. I don't know either of those things yet. This is my first episode with Hefty.
What does Hefty look like?
Oh, I'm a possum.
Okay. And Oliver.
Hi, everybody. I'm Oliver. I am the newly minted, get it, mint, spirit of spring. I'm still kind of learning what I'm doing. I am a tall swimmer build black man, because that is the character that was created for Oliver. And I have 6 points in athletics, 1 point in driving, it's very bad, 10 points in health, 2 points in infiltration, 1 in mechanics, 3 in medic, 6 in preparedness, 4 in scuffling, 7 in sense trouble, 1 in shrink, 0 in shooting, 5 in stability, and 7 in magic, because I'm still learning how that magic works.
And Oliver has been encountered in previous episodes, in previous seasons, has he not?
He has not. He was previously an NPC.
Yes. Yeah, he was your boyfriend.
Yeah. So we're continuing the tradition of playing romantic partners in a polycule moving forward, and there's a new one every season.
And for those who recognize my voice, I play Gilda Silverkeeper in this season of the Fire Breathing Kittens. All right. So for listeners at home, Pocket Gumshoe is a investigative role-playing game where the PCs can never miss a core clue that leads them further along the mystery. So this will be an interesting adventure for our heroes to engage with, I hope.
I was describing this game to someone and I was like, you know how in D&D when you might fail a perception check and miss a clue? What if that didn't happen?
Yeah, it's codified in the rules that can't happen in this game. So, all right. So you find yourself standing in front of a large building. It's raining. It's drizzling. To the left are some stables, and about 20 feet behind you, there is a wide road paved with stones. The building has a sign on it, which it's just pictures, no words. It shows a pomegranate and a scythe. You can't remember why you're here. You vaguely remember walking along that road, but everything is sort of dreamlike and distant. Oliver, you do see that along the road, there are numerous spring flowers, particularly forsythia, these little yellow flowers, blooming.
I do, and I am intrinsically aware of all flowers. I stop to inspect the flowers.
Yeah. So you take a few steps back towards the road, and you see that you're pretty sure it's south. Heading south and east, the road continues on towards the horizon, and you see those spring flowers all along that side. But when you turn to your left and see going up more further north, you don't see any of those flowers.
Interesting. Do the flowers does this seem to me like a natural elevation thing, or does it seem like these flowers are more of like a trail that someone left?
These flowers seem like a trail that you left.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
In fact, as soon as you touch one, you almost have this sense of mine.
Oliver will start frolicking around the open space, creating more flower fields.
Okay, little flowers just start springing up in the kind of the area in front of this building. Hefty, what are you doing while Oliver is frolicking?
Do I know Oliver?
He's a fire-breathing kitten like yourself.
Okay, so I know Oliver. Okay. I am not afraid of him then, and I am nibbling the flowers.
Okay. There are 3 other people here who similarly looked kind of dazed.
Do I know them?
Sort of dreamlike, but they're not members of the guild.
What do I remember from my dream?
You just sort of generally remember traveling with them. One of them is a dwarven man. He's wearing kind of artisan clothes and has sort of a heavy apron that he's wearing. Another is a tall woman with blonde hair, and she's wearing a very travel-stained gown, almost like an evening gown. And the third is a cocky-looking adolescent who is carrying some kind of musical instrument similar to a guitar.
Interesting. So Hefty's gonna freeze. It's involuntary. Okay. She can't move. She falls over sideways. Her mouth opens. She drools. And then as an afterthought, her limbs also fall on the ground.
Okay. So you kind of fall into one of the patches of flowers.
Yeah. Which I'd like to note for the Pocket Gumshoe mechanics is half cover.
Okay.
Forsythia is not that big, so maybe. Nothing attacks you, by the way.
Cool. I can't move. I stay like this.
Okay.
I'm going to specifically try to grow a honeysuckle.
Okay. Where?
Just on the ground.
On the
right
ground,
here.
like a creeper?
It's a bush typically, so
Okay.
Yeah, just growing a honeysuckle bush.
Okay. So you concentrate on that, and I think this is going to be a little bit of your magic.
Okay, so I need to spend a magic point, correct?
You do not. Yes, because I'm going to say that this is thematic for you, so I'm not going to require a spend for it, but I will make you roll.
Okay, I need to roll, and this is a D6, correct?
It is a D6. You can add points if you want to increase your result. So you can spend points to add to your result. The difficulty on this is going to be a 4.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Okay. So you try to pull a honeysuckle from the ground, and tell us how this does not succeed.
So I'm attempting to make something tasty, and I'm focusing on a honeysuckle that I could offer to my friend here, to help bring her back to just the situation. And instead of a pleasant floral honeysuckle scent filling the air, I accidentally create a corpse flower. It is 6 feet across and smells like a decaying corpse.
It's not blooming though, so there's that at least.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That smells delicious.
For those who don't know, opossums are carrion eaters.
Well, life has a way of working out. Yeah, uh-huh. All yours.
I'll get to that. Who are they?
Well, should we be social and find out?
My tongue sticks out of my mouth too. I think that's about all I can move. It is an involuntary response.
The
I'm gonna walk
the woman in the gown walks into the building.
Oh, it's open.
Apparently.
And there's still two people sitting on the ground out here?
They're standing around. They still sort of look a little dazed, although now they're more looking sort of curious and bewildered by the two of you.
I'm going to approach you said there was a teenager.
There's
pretty
a teenager.
close in age to me. I'm going to walk over to the teenager, be like, hey, what's up?
Hey, you look familiar.
I don't remember, but from where?
I don't remember either. He holds out a hand and says, I'm Stone Crayfish.
Well, nice to meet you, Stone. I'm Oliver Budd.
Oliver. Yeah, I think I knew that. So where are we?
I was coming to find that out from you. I didn't know if you had any idea. I don't remember anything. I'm just here. Same story for you?
Yeah.
I kind
of remember walking here. I'm from Nicomoy.
Dude, same. What do you do in Nicomoy?
Oh, I'm a musician.
No way, me too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, maybe this is like a battle of the bands kind of thing?
Oh, I hope not. I mean, you seem like a good-looking chap, and I'd hate to ruin your dreams of glory and fame.
Dude, bring it on. Well, I don't know. Should we just go inside?
Yeah, sure. What about your pet?
That's my friend.
He points at Hefty.
Hey, Hefty, you
dead?
coming?
I would love to move, but I was startled. Can you carry me?
I was going to say, do you consent to being picked up?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to scoop Hefty up.
I am 15 inches long in body.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be difficult.
And the dwarf kind of stumps over and says, I'm Arthur Peridot. Did I hear you're from Nicomoy too?
Yeah. Are you a musician?
No. I make jewelry, mostly gem cutting.
mean, that's exciting.
It's a living. I like it.
Still, it seems like it's all of us are artistic types, so might be related. And you don't remember how you got here either?
Not so much, but I don't have any travel gear and I can't find my tools.
What were you doing the last thing you remember?
I was working on polishing a gem, tiger eye.
Okay. All right. So you were working, actively doing your art. And I'm sorry, what was his name again?
The dwarf is Arthur Peridot.
Arthur Peridot. Yeah, like the gem.
Yeah, like the stone. Yeah.
Okay. And he's a jeweler. And then the teenager, what was his name?
Stone Crayfish.
Stone Crayfish. And he's a musician.
And he's a musician from Nicomoy. And both you and Hefty know that he is he is a popular musician. Plays kind of very catchy songs that people like, even if they don't have a lot of meaning to them. Stone Crayfish is also his stage name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's gonna win the Battle of the Bands. Got it.
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Well, okay. So yeah, it seems like someone like not. And Stone, do you remember the last thing you were doing?
I think I was eating.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, it sounds like somebody wants artsy types here. Hefty and I are both musicians, so let's go in, I guess, and find out what we're here for.
All right. So the four of you enter the building, and you come in, and there's a bit of a scene happening, which is that the tall blonde woman is standing at the counter, and she says, "Well, it doesn't matter that I don't have any money on me. My family will pay for whatever I need. You just have to trust me." And the person behind the counter, which as you kind of glance around is obviously some kind of inn, says, I'm sorry, miss, but we don't know your family." And she looks like her face goes bright red, and she says, How is that even possible?
Can I use my interpersonal investigative approach to de-escalate the situation?
You can. Yeah, I mean,
Or do we need to?
generally speaking, this would be a normally this would be like a general ability, right? Rather than investigative. So
I'm also thinking the way this game works, correct me if I'm wrong, is that our characters have flavors. Like my character is very like interpersonal communication. And we use those to talk to people and like on theme, and we only need to do specific points if it's an official clue, right?
it kind of goes the other way. You really only need to spend the points if you're trying to find out things that are not
The excess clues.
Core clues, yeah. Or do things that are outside of that. But yeah, if you want to, Hefty, if you want to spend an investigative point for that, you can. Otherwise, I would allow you to use one of your general skills if you have something that you think would be appropriate.
I don't know. I just like part of the character creation was to write down 3 tags for every.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So I have like charm, de-escalate, soothe, buff, lull, draw, aggro. So I thought de-escalate might work here because she's getting like all red in the face.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think you have to roll for it, but yeah, you use your tags to like interact with people.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to use my tag to interact with the person.
That's totally fine. Okay.
Okay. So I would like to do that.
How does that look for you? What do you do?
My little fingers are clutching a ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
I can move them even though I can't move the rest of my body. So I'm going to try, which probably gets their attention. And that's kind of like a tense chord. And then now that they're paying attention, I'm going to play a sad chord. I'm just going to make them stop and think. And then I'll go back to the tense chord. And then happy.
Okay. And do you say anything? Because you are able to speak, right?
Yeah, it's probably best I don't. I'm just gonna strum at them. I strum at thee.
What happens?
Okay. So I think that since you're not going to actually speak to them, the tall woman kind of looks over at you, and she just looks really puzzled at your strumming, and she says, "That's not right at all. I don't understand."
Well,
Yeah, de-escalate. So I could be like, happy chord. What do you need, lady?
I'm sure she loves being called lady.
Karen.
I think I need a bath, a room, food. Oh God, I'm so hungry, and probably clean clothes. And I don't know where we are or how I got here.
Well, maybe let's back up. We were all talking about this outside. Are you from Nicomoy?
Of course not. I'm from Elysian Fields.
Isn't that a suburb of Nicomoy?
A wealthy one with delicious trash.
Okay, yes, we've been there. Okay, yes, Elysian Fields, whatever. What do you do besides,
Be rich?
be from yes?
Isn't that enough?
Do you have a skill?
Yes, of course I have skills.
Like?
I throw the best parties.
Oh, a party planner. Okay. We were realizing that everyone here is some kind of artisan.
I also paint.
A painter. Yes. Okay. I think someone is collecting artists for some reason here. We don't know where we came from. Same story for you. You don't know how you got here or anything?
I just remember my feet hurt a lot. I've been walking.
Well, my dear, why don't you sit down and we can get to the bottom of this?
Well,
now, you don't have any money on you. Do any of the rest of us have any money?
I check my cool detective outfit that I actually found a picture of a possum wearing a detective outfit for this adventure. It's got, I looked up the name of this, but then I forgot it. What's that called? It's the black and white pattern. It's like a tessellated pattern and it starts with an
Houndstooth.
H. Houndstooth. I looked it up and then I forgot it. And Houndstooth pattern detective. I check the pocket of my Houndstooth pattern detective outfit. Do I have dollars? Coins?
You probably have a little trash in your pockets because, snacks for later. Yeah.
Okay. I pull out a crunchy croissant. You know, the best way to eat a croissant. And I offer it to Oliver, who's holding me, to offer to the lady we don't have a name of yet.
Oh, you should keep your snack. This is just for you.
So, Oliver, you grew up in Elysian Fields, didn't you?
Did I? Yes, of course I did.
Yeah, your family like served in one of the houses there.
Oof, wrong side of growing up there.
I know. I was wealthy. No, I wasn't.
No, you were not. I mean, you weren't bad off or anything. Just,
Yeah, I didn't think my character was wealthy, but yeah. I'm very familiar with Elysium Fields.
This woman, as you kind of piece things together, and you remember, especially because she mentioned that she throws the best parties. She has the look of the Desiree family. She might be one of them.
Oh, I could always ask. I do. Are you a Desiree?
And she kind of looks startled. You do know who I am. Yes.
Well, of course, the Desirees are famous the world over. The best parties in all of Elysium Fields.
Exactly. I'm Sarah.
Yes.
And you are...
I'm Oliver.
Oliver. Are you from the Elysian Fields?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, and here I thought I wasn't going to be around people of quality. Well, and she kind of brushes back her hair, which is really looks like it has not been washed in at least a week. And, she's clearly accustomed to a certain level of hygiene that she's certainly not at right now. Well, can you tell this man who I am and that my family will certainly be good for whatever bills I manage to run up here?
Well, let's first find out how far we are from Nicomoy, because it might not matter this far out. It's something that happens a lot when you're in the wilderness. I have an idea, though. In the meantime, I attempt to grow a little tree. I see a potted plant in the corner, and I'm going to attempt to create a peach tree with a giant juicy peach on it.
Okay, so first of all, the plant that you find in the corner is actually a tree already.
Oh, is it?
It is. It's a pomegranate tree.
Oh, that works. Oh, yeah, because the sign. I guess
Yeah.
I'll try to make it sprout a big juicy pomegranate.
Okay, so pomegranates are a winter fruit, and you are the spirit of spring. How do you think that's going to go for you? And let's roll some magic for you. This one, I think you are going to have to spend a point.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to go on my character sheet, and I'm going to drop one of those points in magic. And I'm going to roll a d6. I got a 5.
Okay. I didn't tell you what the difficulty was, but is that with your +1 for the point?
No, so that would make it a 6.
I'll say that's within the DC, and the pomegranate sprouts the tree sprouts a little pomegranate that starts to kind of grow, and you feel sort of this like cold shiver go down your back as you are playing with a cousin's domain.
Uh-oh. I am going to give her... Her name was Anne?
Her name is Sarah.
Sarah. I'm so bad at this.
It's okay.
Sarah's the rich lady. Okay. And it gives Sarah the pomegranate. Just distract her, give her some food. And I am going to go talk to the innkeeper.
Okay. So you go up to the innkeeper, who is standing there kind of looking at you all like he doesn't know if you are about to bring violence or coin to his establishment at this point. You're adventurers. You never know.
Well, I have no coin, right?
I don't know. Do you? Probably not. But if you if you feel like, yeah, I probably have a couple coins in my pocket, sure.
Okay, sure. I'm going to say I have some coins. Like, my partner's rich, I would assume.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to take the coins out of my pocket and say, this is all I have. Is this enough to get us some lodgings?
And when you pull your coins out of your pocket and put them on the counter, you suddenly remember what you were doing right before the last thing you remember doing. You were shopping. What were you shopping for?
New swimwear.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna ask him. So, what's your name?
He holds his hand out. I'm Bob, and he looks at the coins that you put on the table, the counter. This will get you, and he kind of gestures at the others with you, and your party.
We'll go with that.
2 rooms for 2 nights if you need them.
Oh, that was more successful than I thought. Okay. Can you tell me, have you heard of Nicomoy?
Of course I've heard of Nicomoy. It's a large port city far to the south.
Far to the south. Where exactly are we now?
Well, you're about 2 days south of Trude.
Okay. And it seems like all of us just appeared here with no memories of how we got here. Do you know anything about this?
Well, not your particular case, but we did have a couple folks come through about 2 days ago with kind of similar symptoms, and they kept going.
Kept going where?
Well, they kept going north, but just about 6 hours ago, I saw them heading back south. I don't know where they were going, but...
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to keep going too. Anything else unusual been going on lately?
Well, it's been raining a lot, and I don't know. I'd say things have been pretty quiet. Although I have noticed that that those 2 folks that came through, one of them was also a musician, like your friend there.
Okay. All right. Well, Hefty, what do you think we should do?
Food.
All right. Yeah, let's gather and regroup here, get some food, rest up, and I don't know, maybe head north in the morning?
Or if we head south, we might catch the people who... Well, 6 hours is a little bit of a head start.
Especially if we stay overnight.
In the rain, with no food. Never mind. Yeah. So let's just rest up here and figure out what to do in the morning.
Okay. To our rooms, Bob.
And Bob leads you to... There's 2 rooms. Sarah insists that she should have a room to herself.
I expected no less.
So you, Arthur, Stone, and Hefty are given it's rather cramped with all 4 of you in there, although Hefty doesn't take that much room, to be honest. But you're shown to it's a fairly standard common room. There's 2 beds. There's a chamber pot and a wash basin, and Bob tells you that there's a bath downstairs in the basement.
Okay. Where's the food?
Oh, that's served in the common room, obviously.
Okay, well...
To the common room.
Yeah, let's drop our stuff here and get to the common room and get some food.
All right. So the evening comes, you rest and refresh yourselves. There's a pretty hearty stew. There's a nice fireplace. Sarah eventually emerges much cleaner, although her dress is clearly ruined and is, the bottom like foot and a half of it is just dirt. It's all dirty. But she looks much better after she's had a bath and some food in her. And Arthur seems a little bit jittery. And he says, I don't know what to do with my hands when I don't have something to work on,
Can I soothe? This is another one of the tags that the rule book made it seem like I should use to interact with people.
Yeah. How do you want to soothe him?
Hand him ukulele.
It's something to work on.
You basically can't mess this up. I have it tuned, so it will sound good.
How do I carve with it?
Carve the notes out of the air. This is a C. This is an F, probably. Let me double check. F. And I'm going to teach this nervous dwarf chords.
Yeah, it's really hard to play a ukulele badly, but somehow Arthur manages it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and he breaks one of your strings.
An A.
And he breaks a string.
Not okay.
Hefty.
Well, that's
Yeah.
okay. I got extras.
Stone, back him up.
This is how you string a ukulele.
Go ahead, GM.
My guitar's somewhere else, so I'll have to just narrate this one. But so Stone comes in with like this riff, and it's just all. It slaps. It's got like a nice groove in it and everything, and he's like, yeah, I think it rocks. And as soon as he starts humming that song, both of you remember earlier, Oliver, when I said you touched that flower and you felt it say mine, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you hear this song, something in both of you resonates with it.
Do I start singing the lyrics?
You don't know the lyrics yet.
Okay, but there's a tune.
There's a tune.
I know that. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes. I believe that is called Loch Lomond.
This is actually a folk tune that is the tune itself is reused for a lot of music.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like these are clues. And the flower is the Forsyth.
The flower is the Forsyth. I will tell you the flower is not a core clue.
Oh, well.
But that song is.
Okay. Okay, cool. So what to do next? Hefty, do you remember this song?
Do you sing it as much as you can?
I do.
Okay. Oliver, you feel clearer.
In what way?
Just almost like a little bit of that fog, a little bit more of it lifts. You don't necessarily recover a whole lot of memory, but it's almost like what you have is just sharper.
Yeah. I start singing it loudly. So
Great.
Everyone in the party can hear it. And
Bob says, that's the tune.
yeah, the one with the other people?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Maybe, hold on. Sarah, paint something. I hand her a bowl of gravy.
And she looks at you like you're insane and says,
And I hand her a chicken bone and a slab of bread and say, just paint something. Just trust me.
these are not paints.
Girl, I swear to God. Just, ugh.
Her snobbishness gets in the way of her painting. However, the pomegranate that you gave her earlier, you do see that, like, on the hem of her dress, kind of covered by the mud, she has apparently at some point while cleaning herself up, taken some time to actually paint something with the pomegranate seeds.
Oh?
And the pomegranate juice. And you see what looks like a pair of wings.
A pair of wings. Did you feel any clearer or any memories surface when you were painting those wings?
This is just a doodle. Since I couldn't get any of the mud out, I figured I'd do what I could.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So we've got a song and we've got wings.
Excuse me. Does anybody know what date it is? If we're this far away from Nicomoy, how long have we been gone?
Hey, Bob, what's the date?
So Bob tells you the date, and it's like I don't know, about a month into spring. And when you last remember being in Nicomoy, it was actually very early spring.
So we've been gone like several weeks.
And Sarah says, "Oh, this is not okay. I need to get home."
It's quite the walk.
Well, yes. My family will be worried for me.
Oh, I'm sure.
If they were worried for you, and if they had had time to respond, what things do you think over the course of a month they might do to find you? Let's assume they've done those things and look for them. What would they do to find you?
Sarah looks at you. She kind of cocks her head and she says, "You're a very smart little creature, aren't you?"
Thanks.
What was your name again?
Hefty.
Hefty. Is that short for something?
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
She just sort of blinks at you for a moment, says, "Well, okay then."
It could be if we want it to be. She could be Hefterina.
Hefterina. What a lovely name. Even though that's not your name.
I don't care.
So, yeah. So, and she describes the kinds of things you would do for a missing person, like flyers and putting out, notices and things like that. But this far from Nicomoy, probably none of those things are going to be around.
Would they offer a reward for your safe return?
Oh, of course.
I have found us a quest.
Get her back to Nicomoy?
Get paid. That's how you know it's a job, said Nusi to me. She said, if you get paid, it's a job.
That's a very good point. What do you think of this, Sarah? This party is collected to get you safely back into Nicomoy.
Sarah just shrugs and says, "As long as I get home, I think it's fine. I have no idea what my family would have offered for my return, but I'm sure that it will be worth your time."
We're going to ignore that. Okay. All right. Well, we know that Nicomoy is south, and it sounds like we have a path of flowers we can follow.
I'm all rested, and we have food. Can we get some of this to go, and then let's be on our way?
Yeah.
It is still evening, so I
I'm
realized
nocturnal.
I realized that Hefty's like, let's raring to go. But Stone and Sarah at least are like, aren't we going to sleep?
Yes, let's sleep first and leave first thing in the morning.
Can we just hire like a wagon? You guys can sleep on the way there.
I don't know if we have money for a wagon.
Yeah, you just pretty much spend all your money on a room.
Okay,
2 rooms.
tomorrow it is. I'm definitely going to just eat stuff all night in the kitchens.
Yeah. Or behind the kitchens or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some trash in my pockets.
Okay, so anything else you want to do that evening?
I don't think there's anything else.
Okay. All right. You...
I would like to sense trouble because that's the purpose of that skill.
Yeah. Okay. So overnight, Hefty, I'm not going to make you spend for this. And you don't need to sense trouble for it because this is like a quasi core clue. Overnight, because Hefty, you don't sleep really in the night. You see that Arthur gets up and goes outside in the middle of the night.
I follow. I'm bored as heck. Nobody else is awake.
He just stands in the courtyard outside of the inn for about an hour, looking up the road to the north. At one point, you think he's going to start walking along it, and then and then he doesn't, and then he eventually goes back inside. Maybe sleepwalking? Hard to say.
All right. It's not like I'm going to wake up my friends. I'm not a jerk. So I wait until the morning, and then I'm like, Oliver! From on top of your chest.
Yo.
Arthur got sleep summoned to the north. He came back. It's calling us.
So should we go to the north?
Does it pay?
It might. And we're very close to that city, 2 days north versus a month to get back to Nicomoy.
That's a good point. Do you want to leave the expensive lady here?
I suspect she would come with us rather than branch out on her own.
Okay, but if we return her safe, we get dollars. If we get her killed up north, we don't get dollars. You gonna promise you keep her safe?
I mean, I'm pretty sure. We'll tuck
Okay,
her
if something
away.
happens, make like a flower shield around her or something, okay?
I'll do my best.
Righto.
So Arthur and Stone, who are also in the room with you, Arthur says, I don't remember sleepwalking.
Yeah, I don't remember the last month. Not surprised.
Fair. And
I didn't
Stone,
expect you to remember the mind control walking.
but do we want to go where someone's mind controlling us to go?
We're going to go there anyway, it sounds like, whether or not we remember it. So we might as well go there while we're still remembering it.
That's true.
Just keep one party member asleep at all times so they can guide us.
You volunteer? It's daylight. I mean,
Yeah. All right. So I'm
Take
going to
first shift.
sleep. It's too bright outside. So I'm going to put my little possum sunglasses on. And you guys, just wherever I start sniffing and trying to walk towards, go that way.
Okay.
There's a Rick and Morty episode about like nighttime versus daytime personas. So I'm going to be nighttime possum now. Like slowly zombie shuffle to the north.
Yeah, except that when you fall asleep, you don't sleepwalk at all. You just fall asleep.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can just walk north.
Okay. Sarah strongly disagrees with this plan and says, if you don't take me south, then you're definitely not going to get paid.
I'm not sure that's true. You can certainly try to walk a month on your own, but it's a very short detour to find out why we were all brought here. You're not the least bit curious why someone took your consent away?
I'm not convinced that it's only a short detour, to be honest.
We're right next to the city up north. I don't know.
I fell asleep, so I can't talk her into anything.
Yeah, we got our nocturnal and our daytime.
And even if she wakes me up, I'm just like, I'm sleeping.
I'm sleepy. Let me sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to argue with this lady. Okay, we're gonna leave you alone. Goodbye. She will panic.
She might.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We start
so
walking towards the north.
Yeah.
You start heading north on the road. All right. So it's this area is pretty mountainous. And the paving of this, on the road is not paved all the way. The road is like paved when there's a settlement nearby or a village. But otherwise between towns, it's pretty much a dirt road, which having been rained on for a week is mostly a mud road, just so you know. So it's a slog. Stone tries to keep you entertained by playing music. And between the three of you, you probably start working on a pretty decent catalog.
I want to learn all the chords from Stone. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got like 56 chords I want to learn, and I know 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to learn from Stone.
Well, Stone plays guitar, which is different from ukulele, but he will teach you what he knows.
Okay, I know 3 chords. Probably teach me something.
Yeah. But the this song that he's been humming and that you've been humming is the one that is definitely like keeps coming up. And between the three of you, you may start putting together like an arrangement even.
We do it in round. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the name of this? What's the song again?
So the song itself is called Rain and Snow. And
this is like a thing I can look up for ukulele.
It is. It uses the G and F chords.
Okay.
By the way.
I got G, I think. That's an F. Wait, F is this one. This is F. And this is G. Right?
Yep.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Nope. Did that wrong. Wait. This one's G. Fingers. That's G. And that's F. Dang, that's not an easy one. I don't like G.
But yeah, as you travel, this song kind of keeps you going, kind of makes it easier to go on the path. You travel, and about a day or so on the road, and it gets muddy, and then it's paved again, and you come to a mining town. This town doesn't actually have a name, but the mine itself is marked prominently. It is mine X0347.
Can we do the zombie pool test?
The zombie pool test?
Yeah, like camp. See if anybody starts walking to the mine where it keeps going.
Sure. Yeah. So you make camp. Oliver, what does camp look like for you?
I didn't have any supplies, right?
Whatever you've found or crafted on the road.
Oh, I'm gonna say I grow my camp. Like I got little like mushroom toadstool like chairs, and we get some vines that shape themselves into. Have you ever seen those like people who like grow like grapevines into like on a trellis, and it becomes like a whole canopy roof? We got one of those going on. We got some vines turning into some hammocks along the way, something like that.
Excellent. Arthur, as you're growing this campsite, with this very well appointed campsite, says, "What are you, some kind of elf?"
Something like that.
And Stone Crayfish happily sits down and sets his feet on a toadstool and kicks back and says, "Oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty good digs you make."
I really try.
If being a musician doesn't work out for you, you could do this. Some kind of gardener or farmer or
I bet that would be popular around Elysium Fields.
Botanist. And at the mention of Elysium Fields, Sarah pipes up, "Oh yes, we have definite need for good gardeners. I suppose. I mean, a garden party themed around chairs that grow to you. That would be such an amazing party."
Yeah, we could do that. Let's plan that when we get back.
Oh, well, let's start planning now.
Absolutely. Go ahead. You're in charge. Full creative license.
Yeah. And she kind of starts, and then she realizes you're fobbing her off, and she's like, well.
No, I mean it. I've seen your parties. They're delightful. I have faith in you.
Have you been to one of my parties?
Oh, absolutely. Who hasn't?
Well, many people. I mean, that's the point.
Well, I mean, when you're in the know, you're in the know.
And yet I don't remember you.
Oh, I'm very shy at parties.
Me too.
I don't believe it.
And you shouldn't believe it. She's absolutely lying. But, it's one of those nice lies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you camp, and whatever was compelling you to go north seems to have sort of eased off. maybe worn off? Hard to say. This feels like a dead end.
Oh, does it feel like we've arrived where we're supposed to go?
No, it feels like, you know, when you are when you have like a song that you're trying to remember, but you can't quite remember what it is. It'll probably come back to you later. It's kind of like that, where you just sort of you can't grab it.
So where do we go from here?
We could go into the mine, or we could leave this lady on the surface and go into the mine.
I do think, Sarah, for your safety, you should probably not go into the mine. I think you'd be very comfortable at this well-appointed camp, correct?
I suppose. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think that would be lovely. I'll stay here and, can I make a request of you?
Sure.
More fruits.
I have the vine sprout a plethora of different fruits.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your magic on that.
Okay. Do I need to spend a point?
I think you do.
Okay. So let me pull that up first of all. One less point. Rapidly running out of those. Okay.
It's okay. You won't need them.
Oh, okay. Well, roll.
There's never a final boss.
I got a 2, so then it's a 3 total.
Okay. This is going to go wrong. How does it go wrong?
So I attempt to grow a variety of different fruits for her, and for some reason, all I can create are just massive amounts of durian fruit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say, well, there's more fruit, just like you asked. Fruits. Mm-hmm.
Plays it cool.
She kind of looks at the fruit.
Oh, before she can react, Hefty is so into this fruit. Hefty is like, oh my goodness, I've never smelled anything as delicious as this in my entire life. Not that I have lived very long, but this is amazing. And I'm going to eat the crap out of this durian.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah cracks one open, and she's kind of looking at the flesh inside. Now, durian fruit comes in various colors. What color are these durians?
I've only ever seen the yellow ones, so I'm going to say yellow.
Okay. And she kind of looks at it and she says, I don't know if I can do anything with this, but I'll try.
Oh, for painting.
Well, I don't have any paints. I thought the pomegranates were so effective, but I'm not sure I can do much with this, but I'll try.
If you forage around, you should be able to find lots of natural pigments in the surrounding area.
Forage. What an interesting concept. Have fun in the mines.
We shall.
I'm
Onward.
glad she's not foraging personally, because like she would totally get eaten by whatever is out here. Like, so
Totally.
I was gonna suggest like a treehouse for her, you know.
Or maybe a cage high up. Like a
Can't do
treehouse
that.
with a door that locks from the outside.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So Arthur is all about going into mines. He's on board 100%. And Stone says, "Yeah, I'm game. Sure."
All right. Yeah, let's check it out.
All right. So the four of you head into these mines, and so the mine itself, mine X0347, is actually it's actually owned by a kobold mining operation known as Big Barrow Incorporated.
Is there like a sign or something?
Mm-hmm. As you're like approaching the mine entrance, because it's like a big cave entry type thing. This is not strip mining or anything. There's a sign. It's written in draconic letters, which probably you can read. And it says Big Barrow Mining Company.
Hefty, I think you should lead. I think you're the most well equipped for this.
Okie dokie. By the way, I can't read. Can I not?
I mean, being nocturnal. You can read music, so
I gotta decide at some point whether Hefty can read, but I don't think it's gonna be today.
I believe one of your approaches is languages.
Yeah, maybe I can read. I don't know. I acquired my ability to speak the common tongue quite magically. So it's a good question of can I read or not. Hey, I'll roll a dice. Here. That's a 5. I can read. All right.
All right.
Okay, Hefty can read. Anyway, so let's see. I'm on my 4 little paws. I got my detective houndstooth coat on. My cute little pink nose faces towards the depths of the mine, and I trot along, leading the group into the mine.
All right. So as you head into the mine, Hefty, you don't feel like you are compelled to be here or that you need to be here. So whatever that compulsion was drawing you north, it's not here.
Okay,
and
I stop. I tell my party,
and
hey, you guys, I think this is the wrong way because I don't feel any compulsion to go into the mine. Do you? Do you feel any compulsion to go into the mine?
No, but do you feel any compulsion to go anywhere?
That's a good question. Let's go back to camp. We'll fall asleep. We'll see which way somebody wanders. Right?
Okay.
Okay, I get back to the surface.
And Arthur says, and I was just feeling comfortable.
You can sleep in the mine.
I'm pretty sure those kobolds up ahead aren't going to say that's okay.
You see kobolds?
Yeah, you don't?
I could roll for it.
I mean, now, like, should we keep going?
I have notice. Should I roll for seeing kobolds?
So when you, like, scout a little further up, yeah.
No, I would move closer. Like, why can I not see them? That freaks me out. I'm a nocturnal animal.
You're a nocturnal animal, but you're, like, the size of a house cat?
Yeah? Does that make me bad at seeing stuff?
No, just these are further away. That's all. They're just past your distance.
Yeah, I would leave because it freaks me out that I can't see invisible kobolds. So I would be like, okay, yeah, let's go back to camp and see which way we get pulled.
Okay.
You can stay here, dwarf person, and talk to these kobolds if you want. But the invisible kobolds are freaking me out. So let's go back to camp. All right.
All right.
Go back to camp.
All right, so you head back to camp.
Personally, yeah.
Arthur does not stay behind. He'll go with you guys. All right, so you return to camp. Sarah has done her best to paint on a tree what kind of looks like a pair of wings.
More wings. Okay.
Yeah, just something that's kind of been on my mind.
Tell me more.
Can you grow wings?
I don't think so. Can you?
Oh, definitely not. Can you buy wings? You can buy a lot of stuff. Is this a thing you can buy?
I think in the black market you can pay someone to put wings on you, but I don't think that's something that I would personally do, but I suppose you could if you wanted to have wings.
Oh, no, I was just trying to help you live your dream, man. Like, when we get you back to Nicomoy, if you want to buy some wings, do whatever makes you happy.
No, I don't have that. She kind of looks sort of perplexed. What an interesting idea, but no, that's not quite what it's just been on my mind, like a drawing.
You want a wing tattoo? You want a wing?
Maybe she wants a man with wings.
A man with wings? A lady with wings? You want a pet bird?
When you say a lady with wings, her eyes go wide. That's what I've been drawing. No, not like that's very crass. No, but
tell us about the lady.
That's the drawing. I don't have paper or a canvas. This is very frustrating. I wish I were home.
Well, let's get you there. So everybody in the camp, fall asleep. Let's see which direction we're getting pulled. It is not the mine. So let's figure this out.
Okay. So, as the GM and for purposes of time, I'm going to ask, how much time do you want to waste up here in the mining and mountainous areas before you start heading back towards Nicomoy?
Oh, none. Thank you for the metagaming. Let's move.
I'm so confused. What was tugging us north then? Like,
You don't know, and that mystery will not be solved in this episode.
Okay,
But
Sarah,
don't worry.
you were right. Let's go.
But don't worry, there's other stuff to solve elsewhere. Second level characters.
I feel a little jerked around.
All right, so y'all head south, back towards, and you know what? It's just like Bob said. There were a couple people who went through here a few days before, and then they were seen heading south a couple days later. It's almost like you aren't the only ones to have followed this path, trying to figure out what was going on there. So you head south, and the flowers that you had left in your trail, Oliver, they've started to fade. They've started to, some of them have died off and so forth. So the trail is starting to disappear. The further you go, the longer it's been. But you can still see signs here and there of, a little forsythia that's hardier than others and so forth. And the road goes more or less to the south and east. Your path doesn't stick perfectly to the trail though. And about 2 days on the road south, you hit the town. Actually, I guess it's little more than 2 days. It's about 4 days, and you're following the trail that you had left. You hit the town of Bramblebrook. This town is in a much more drier area of Guaso, and in fact, the little yellow flowers that previously were forsythia, they're now just one of these dozen or so types of little yellow desert flowers. And what's great about these flowers is that because they're hardier, they actually live a little bit longer. So your trail is more visible as you get closer to Bramblebrook than in the wetter kind of highlands of the mountainous regions. Bramblebrook is a 2-road town, and there's not much here. There's a trading post. There's a mayor's office. There's a town jail. And there's a lot of ranching in the area, and quite a bit of creatures out in the desert that people harvest for their parts and things.
Why do I feel like we're about to end up in jail?
I don't know. I don't know at all, actually. But as you come into town, you see that there's trading post, there's a saloon, and you do see that the jail itself, the building, is boarded up.
Okay. Now I feel like we should investigate the jail. Let's go take a look. Peep between some boards.
Okay.
I'm small.
Yeah.
I try to crawl in between the boards to.
Oh, that is easy for you. Yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll because you are, as you said, 15 inches long and good at, you're basically a ground mammal, so no problem. Yeah, so you just shimmy your way in and kind of do a little investigation. So inside the jail, Hefty, here's what you find. You see that the first of all, the boards, they're not like old and weathered. These are fairly newly tacked on. Okay. The nails are not rusted or anything like that. This is a fairly recent change. All right. Inside, there's a desk, there's like an actual, bars on, barred cage kind of jail. Just picture in your mind, typical like Western town jail. That's what you're seeing. What are you going to investigate first?
I want to use my sense trouble skill. I have 10 points in it. I want to use 3. I want to roll.
Okay.
Yeah. I rolled a 3. Plus 3 is 6.
All right. You do not sense any trouble here, any active trouble. Okay. You are in no danger right now. There's nobody in this building with you. And nothing's about to fall on you or anything like that.
Okay. So, having spoken to my teammates in a flashback sequence, having spoken to my teammates before I came in here.
Hold up. That's preparedness. Go ahead. And yeah.
8 points in that. I'm going to spend 4 of them.
Then you will auto succeed.
Great. What did you guys want me to find in here?
Oliver?
I thought we were just exploring.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're looking for yet.
Well, we're on this quest to find out what happened to our memories, and we can tell that in the Fugue period we were in this town before because of the desert flowers.
Yes.
So we're looking for traces of ourselves, right? Things that we own that we might have dropped here. Brainstorm with me. What am I looking for in this place?
Sure. Maybe we were thrown in this jail and that's why it's all boarded up now. We busted out of here.
Oh, dang. So I'm going to look for, like, possum scratch marks inside the jail. I'm going to look for, like, Oliver grew some of the jail bars together, you know, made the wood confinement sprout blossoms. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to look for like a painting made by the Sarah Desiree person. And I'm going to look for a spare string from Stone Crayfish. And I'm going to look for
the jeweler's tools. Maybe we use them to break out of this jail.
The jeweler's tools. They lost their tools somewhere along the way. Good memory, Oliver's player.
All right.
I pay attention.
All right. And you were investigating inside the jail.
Yes.
So you start looking around. So basically what you're looking for right now are like physical clues of things, of evidence that you were here, right?
Yeah.
And what you find, this is a core clue. There is evidence of violence because there is a lot of blood remains. It's, it's been cleaned up, but you can tell because you're an opossum. Like, you can smell it. You can see traces. Like, this is not, like, they can't hide this from you. There's traces of bloodshed. A lot of blood.
Okay.
Does it smell like any of us? Because blood sometimes smells like the person it comes from.
You don't. You can't connect that. No, it's been several days, so it doesn't smell like you or any of your companions. Whether that's inconclusive or not is up to you.
Are there any papers in the? You said there was a desk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are there any papers in the desk?
Yeah. So you check out the desk and you find papers in a drawer, like a bottom locked drawer, which, I mean, is it locked for very long? Probably not. But you find like a journal that's written in, technically it's written in common. It appears to be a journal about flowers and plants that grow in the area.
Oh, I'm not stopping to read any of the papers. I'm going to get as many papers as I can carry and make trips and put them all out the hole so that my friends have something to do while I'm in here sniffing blood. So I'm going to give them something to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to dump every paper in the building out that hole.
Okay. You dump the journal out there. There's like a ledger, which basically has like arrest records, and a few like memos and things that seem unimportant, but you dump them out there anyway.
Oh yeah. Oliver.
I got him.
Sarah. Arthur. Air quotes Stone. Here's stuff for you guys to read and sift through. I'll see what else I can get from in there.
All right. Oliver, you have the journal and some miscellaneous papers.
I do. Do I see anything significant in them?
Start flipping through them. As I said, the journal is like a journal of local flowers and plants, except it's all wrong. It's describing flowers and plants that don't grow in this area, that can't grow in this area.
Do I see any people around?
I'm going to say that you guys arrived in like the middle of the afternoon. It's kind of the hottest part of the day, so most people are indoors.
But there are people.
Yeah, this is not an abandoned town.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a bunch of blood in here.
You've definitely seen a couple of people like peek out their windows at you, sort of suspicious like.
Like a lot of blood.
Let's try. One of my interpersonal tags is that I'm pretty, which opens a lot of doors. So I am going to.
There's a trading post. There's a saloon. There's a mayor's office.
Oh, I can just go in somewhere.
There's the jail is the first place that you guys stopped.
I'm going to go to the saloon and see what kind of gossip I can get.
Okay.
Meanwhile, are there any keys inside the jailhouse?
No.
Okay.
And you definitely looked.
Is there anything else inside this jailhouse?
Not really. There's just the papers. There's the blood. The keys have been taken out of the jailhouse, and there's the normal tools of the trade, but otherwise no. There's like a cudgel in the desk as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Maybe that's where the blood came from.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I'm gonna go with you,
There is no
Oliver.
smell of blood on the cudgel. No smell of blood.
Nope, rejected. That theory's wrong. All right, so I'm gonna go
That's
with
a
you.
core clue for you.
Okay. No
Okay.
blood on cudgel. Got it. Oliver, I'm going with you.
All right, yeah, come on.
All right. So, well, I think Oliver was heading over to the saloon while you were finishing your investigation. Yeah.
Okay, I'm separated
Yes.
from you.
Yeah. Oliver, you go into the saloon. I think once you say you're heading over to the saloon, Sarah is definitely going because, like, she's uncomfortable. It's hot and dry. So, so you go into the saloon and, it's a saloon in a Western town. So, there's a piano. Nobody's playing it right now. There's a bartender. So there's a bartender there. He's, serving up drinks, looks up at you. It says, hey there, stranger.
Howdy.
Did you want something? He gestures at the bar behind him.
I was hoping to, just figure out what's going on in town. It looks like there was a scuffle over at the jail recently. I'm using my gossip tag.
Okay. So the bartender kind of chuckles and says, yep, sheriff got himself killed.
Ooh, what happened?
We don't know. Mayor went in the morning. He was dead as a doorknob in the jail.
Did anybody else die?
Nope. Don't know who done it either.
And were there any prisoners in there at the time, or?
Nope.
Interesting. Walks into an empty jail. He dies.
It was actually
lots of blood everywhere.
I think it was about a day after you guys left. Actually.
Really? So we also don't remember passing through here, although we know we must have. Did anything happen when we were here?
And he kind of chuckles and says, "Did anything happen?" Well, yeah. I mean, you put on a hell of a show. You and and your pet and that boy that you got with you.
Oh yeah. Well, we certainly try. All right. Do you remember why we put on a show?
Well,
sometimes we do it just for fun.
So, do you want to spend a point for this non-core clue?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm looking for core clues.
Yep. Yeah, so, and he gestures behind the bar, and that's where you see the painting, which Sarah has been staring at since you guys walked into the saloon. You were more focused on the bartender. It's a painting of an angel, a woman with wings flying over the town. You paid for your stay with that. Kind of like it, don't you?
Yeah. Was she here?
Sarah? Yeah.
No, the angel.
That's funny. There's no such thing as angels.
We know one, but okay.
You know an angel?
Well, kind of. I'm blanking on the word now. What is the race? The angel people.
What is the name of the character you're trying to remember?
Eddie Merlot.
Oh, you know Eddie Oliver?
Well, he's in the archives at the guild. He was here. Not personally. I never met him.
Role play as your character.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There was there's in the archives at the guild. There was a description of Eddie Merlot, and he had some angel blood in him. The wings only came out when he was mad.
So the bartender kind of shrugs and says, well, I don't know, but it's a pretty picture, and she did a good likeness of the town.
Yeah, it looks great.
Well,
Hefty,
now,
what do you got?
the other thing...
You left me abandoned in a jail.
Totally.
Sorry.
The other thing is Ansible, that's the sheriff. He broke up a bar fight that the night before, but just like him, didn't make any arrests.
Oh, who was the bar fight?
Well, it was a couple of boys from the Embers. They just got a little rowdy out of hand. They do sometimes.
Okay, the Embers.
Yeah, they're kind of our local boys.
Gotcha. All right. Let me just go grab my friend real quick. I'm gonna go back out and pick up Hefty as she's trekking along the ground trying to catch up.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, where are your fire breathing kitten tattoos?
Mine is black on my ear.
Okay.
Mine is, I don't know if I actually specified this. I'm going to say that mine is on my left hip.
Okay. So you go to get Hefty.
Mm-hmm.
And?
Hey, Hefty, how you doing?
I'm pushing papers out of the jail. Did you find anything good?
Well, there's a saloon over here. They remember us being here, but I don't know what to ask them. It seems pretty nondescript. There was a bar fight, not with us. We put on a show for people.
So we knew one another during the fugue too.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I just don't know the right question to ask.
Why are we friends? Not you and me, all these other people. Why were we traveling together?
That's a good question.
It's an excellent question, and I think it's a question we're going to ponder over the break.
Okay.
You've been listening to the Fire Breathing Kittens as we play Pocket Gumshoe with Oliver.
Hey, see you later.
And Hefty.
And just so y'all remember, we don't have one now, but if you leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to our podcast, we will read it on air. No matter what you say, we will read it. I promise.
Bye.
Bye.
Today's mid-episode shout-out is, quote, "Thanks to the unsung hero, Ingrid. Your hard work behind the scenes keeps our city running smoothly, and it doesn't go unnoticed." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Did you know we have paperback, ebook, hardcover, and audiobook adaptations of our adventures on Amazon and Audible? Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Well, telling them about it would help us. Cheers!
Welcome back to the Fire Breathing Kittens. We are playing Pocket Gumshoe with Oliver.
Hi.
And Hefty.
So good.
The party is currently in Bramblebrook, where they have learned that Sheriff Ansible Normal has been murdered a few days ago, right around the time when they were leaving town. People in the town don't seem terribly worried about this.
Yes, and we were just talking about where everyone's tattoo was. Does someone recognize our tattoos?
Well, since yours is on your hip and therefore probably under your clothing,
Oh, I'm
And-
very scantily clad.
Aren't you wearing like lifeguard shorts?
Yeah,
Like, that's
typically
it?
wearing some kind of swim trunks, yeah.
Yeah. He's picturing like Baywatch shorts. Like picture, who's your favorite Baywatch actor?
How high or low on your hip is it then?
It's high enough that you can see it poking out over the top.
Got it. Okay. No problem.
It's visible.
And Hefty's is black on black and therefore maybe a little bit harder to discern most of the time.
So, no, I am proudly walking around town with my fire-breathing kittens tattoo on my hip showing. I don't know if that triggers anything in anyone.
So far, you've really only talked to the bartender, so
Okay. There were some other places. Let's go to the mayor's office. There should be some hustle and bustle around there.
Okay.
Sure.
I bring Hefty with me.
all right. I think Sarah is going to stay at the saloon because it's warm and dry, and she can get a drink there. Do you bring Arthur and or Stone with you?
I'll bring both. First
Okay.
rule of combat, never split up the party.
These are NPCs. They're not going to be useful in combat.
You can run faster than a bear? No, but you can run faster than your NPCs.
Exactly. One of them's a dwarf. Just trip him.
All right. So you go to the mayor's office. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody there?
In fact, the mayor is there. He's a dwarf, interestingly enough. And he barely looks up when you come in, and is apparently reading some book. Hard to say.
Hello, sir. We are coming from Nicomoy.
So he looks up at you, looks you up and down, sees that you're barely dressed, notices the tattoo that you're so prominently wearing on your hip. By the way, he is wearing a sash that says mayor across his chest, literally. So, in
Subtle.
case anybody
Okay.
didn't know, very subtle. So he looks up at you and he says, so you came back then?
Yes, we had heard about something unfortunate with the town shortly after we left, and we were hoping to check in and see if we could help, maybe get more information about the background here.
Well, as I thought I told you last time, we don't really need you meddling here, but thanks for coming back.
Oh, no meddling at all. Can you also just remind me the details of our conversation the last time? Adventuring has been very mentally taxing.
And he just kind of glowers at you. His hostility it seems out of place. I mean, you're pretty. Why is he such a jerk?
Yeah, let's see. I have a lot of interpersonal skills here.
So you do.
So I feel like flattery is going to work here. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
just a little more, I know you have so much on your plate. You were the mayor, literally the most important man in town. That sash should be twice that size for all the work that you put in.
Nice. Okay, so you kind of get the mayor to sort of open up a little bit. He was not a fan of the sheriff, but you get the feeling that he really, really hates the fire-breathing kittens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's try gossip. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know not all of the fire-breathing kittens are, on the civilian side. The arsons alone, it is mind-boggling. So just rest assured, if there was anything any previous interactions you've had, we are not all the same, let me tell you.
Yeah. It's the same here in Bramblebrook. We're not all on the same side. Some folk, well, there's one less of them now. You know what I mean?
Ooh, not yet, but I feel like you're gonna tell me what side.
I'm saying that Ansible was kind of, frankly, he just didn't know how things are supposed to go here. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have proper respect for authority.
Exactly. And what kind of sheriff doesn't have respect for authority? You know?
It's in the job description.
Exactly. You know, he was such a coward.
Not a good trait in a sheriff.
Broke up a fight the other night. He showed up after everything was over.
Oh, that's terrible. I bet you stepped in and took care of it.
You know, I didn't need to because it was just a couple of the Ember Boys. It doesn't really matter. They just got in a scuffle with each other, and you know, they were drinking together by sunrise. It was no big deal.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I heard they're pretty amicable around here.
A little rowdy, but you know, they just like to have a good time.
Hefty, help me out.
I would like to use my lull interpersonal skill, and I will lull the mayor.
Okay.
Those Ember Boys. What were they fighting about?
Oh, I don't really know. Somebody said something to the other one. You know, they're always scuffling over something. Like I said, they made up by morning. It's not that important. But Ansible, I mean, those Ember Boys, they can be rough, but they're not like murderers or anything. Well, I mean, sometimes they are. But what happened to Ansible is not really their style, you know. So,
well, surely someone like you has their finger on the pulse of every part of town. I mean, you must have some thoughts about who done it.
Well, I'll be honest, not all that worried. Nobody liked him, you know. What kind of sheriff is that much of a coward that he hides inside his own jail when a fight breaks out? You know?
Oh, that's what was happening.
But also, like, I don't know, coward as he was, maybe he didn't deserve to die that way. It's pretty rough. It was all, well, all right. Listen, I don't really tell people about the gruesome details, but some folks found out anyway. Old Ansible, he was smothered to death and his hands were cut off.
That sounds so specific.
Right? Like, who needs extra pair of hands? You got a couple on the ends of your own arms.
I mean, that would make me think that somebody was accusing him of stealing something, right? Isn't that the classic?
You know, I didn't even think about that.
I don't know, because you're right. I don't know who would want extra hands.
I don't know either. All I know is that was some creepy stuff to see. Yeah. But, you know, I don't really worry so much about it.
Well,
got one less sheriff to deal with, and yeah, we'll deputize somebody else soon enough. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, if you think of anything, let me know. We're, in the interest of full disclosure here, something funny's been happening to us. Our memories got wiped for some reason, and we're trying to figure out who done it.
No kidding.
I'm trying to think if it might have been related. I don't know, because I know we passed through here.
I know you passed through here too. We saw you coming and going.
Yeah. And I don't think anything bad happened here. I think we put on a show of some kind, but, you know, that's what we do. But I don't know. I didn't think anything untoward happened.
I mean, we found the sheriff the next morning, but y'all were already gone, and like I said, it didn't seem like you had hard feelings for him, so we just buried him.
Yeah. Okay.
As I said, no one really liked him that much.
Who knew him best?
Well, that's the thing. Really nobody.
Didn't have a wife or anything?
Nope. No self-respecting woman would be with that man.
Well, I don't know. I've always said everyone's a 10 to someone.
I bet you're a 10 to lots of ladies.
Oh, ladies, yeah. Well,
or
on that note,
I guess not ladies or whatever.
Well, I guess it depends on who's asking.
Well, anyway,
Not him. Okay.
yeah. Comp het
all right.
for sure.
Well, let me know if you think of anything. Like I said, I got a mystery to solve here.
Well, like I said, we're not overly concerned, but I guess if you've lost your memory, you should try to go find it.
Yeah. Hefty,
What
where
were
do
you
think we
doing
should
last
look
thing you
next?
remember?
The last thing we all remember was back in Nikamoy, and then we woke up in this town up north.
Nikamoy, huh? That's a long ways.
Yeah.
But
Hefty,
I
ask him something.
Sorry, you guys are like talking at the same time. Did you say something to me?
I said, Hefty, ask him something. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't want to cut in like and talk over people. I will say, what skills do I have? We've got traffic analysis and outdoor survival and notice. I want to notice, do they look calm or do they look like they're lying?
The mayor.
Yeah, at any point did they like do a nervous tick?
The mayor looks so. I don't want to say that he's happy the sheriff's gone, but he's happy the sheriff's gone. Also, I'll give this one to you for free, even though it's not a core clue. There is a set of keys on his desk.
Like the jail keys? Like they look like they get okay.
Yeah,
And
that
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense. That's where the keys would go. Right. Yeah. And there wasn't like a locked region I couldn't get into in the jail. So
So I'm figuring that, you're probably you're an opossum. You're probably pretty good at getting into things that maybe other people don't want you to get into. So that's why I let you into that locked drawer in the desk. It's just kind of like, you're small and clever. Right.
you don't have to do that in the future. Like it's not like I have magic reaches through drawers paws. Like it's fine. You don't have to.
It's not, it also wasn't like, the most secure lock to begin with. So, but yeah. Like there wasn't really, a whole lot, like there wasn't like a safe or anything in the sheriff's office or anything like that.
Okay. So I can't think of any areas I couldn't access without those keys. So I don't particularly want the keys. So I will use my sense trouble. I'm going to use 2 points
Okay.
to try to sense trouble. I'm going to
Okay.
roll.
Hold up. Let me think about this.
Is there anything else in this town that could cause us trouble if we stay here? I'm thinking we leave the town,
so
right?
your scope here is the town as a whole.
Bramblebrook. Yeah, like I know
Okay.
there was a murder here, but it sounds like the whole town did it and then just all high-fived one another and buried the dude. So apart from everybody got rid of the troublesome sheriff, like is there any reason to stay in town would be my roll.
Okay.
Can I roll
Okay.
a dice?
Yes. I'm going to put the difficulty for this at, I'm going to set it at 5. How many points would you like to spend on it?
Oh, okay. I was
I
going
know
to
you
spend...
I know you said you were going to spend 2. I'm telling you the difficulty before you do your spend.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems fair to go with the number that I said before and not change it just because I know I got a 2 on the dice. So overall, I got a 4.
Okay. You don't sense any trouble here further in Bramblebrook, and probably your conclusion there is probably correct.
Okay, so what I say to Oliver is, well, it sounds like this town has solved its problem. And I like do the hand clap of we got rid of the sheriff. Ha ha, dust hands off. And then I say, should we keep going? If we get this Desiree back to her family, we'll get a cash reward. Maybe.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like she left voluntarily, so they wouldn't be offering one. But maybe.
Why not? We don't have anything else to do.
I mean, she's all but promised you whatever reward, so yeah. All right. Do you go back to the flower path?
It's where we came from.
This
All
should
right.
take us back to Nicomoy, right? Even if it's not the straightest path.
Yeah,
In theory.
Yeah.
in theory.
Then we'll get more clues.
I hear that's the point of the game.
Thanks. All right. So you you follow this path, this trail that's been left of flowers, and it kind of loops back towards the more temperate coastal areas and heads into some forests. Now, by this point, like you've been walking for over a week, and a lot of these flowers, like I said, they've kind of died off and everything. But Oliver, you still, because you've got a lot of natural sense and knowledge, and as you said at the beginning, like you just know where all the flowers are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can see the dandelions that have gone to seed, and like the lily of the valley that are a little hardier and are clinging to their life as you head into those foresty areas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you end up in Rhett's Wood.
Oh, I know that name.
And as you're kind of traveling through the woods and everything, Hefty, you smell long before you see another possum.
Oh, we don't generally get along, so I would ask if it smells like it is open to mating or if it wants to eat me, because like we generally avoid one another if they're not receptive to social interactions.
It doesn't smell like it's in heat. I won't say it. She. It's a female possum.
Oh, I would avoid those. Yes, because possums are not... You ever put two cats in the same house together?
Yes.
That is what happens when you put two possums in the same area together. They're not nice to one another. Does it smell young? Like
No.
a baby? No. Oh,
no,
heck no. Yeah.
It smells quite a bit older. In fact, many seasons.
That thing could kick my butt. I'm going to tug on Oliver a little bit and ask to climb Oliver.
Yeah, I'll scoop you up.
Thank you. Can I sit on your shoulder like a mink scarf?
Absolutely.
Cool. Do you have any perfume?
No.
Do you have any durian?
I think we might still have some durian.
Can you rub me in that?
Sure, I will rub some leftover durian on her fur.
Thank you. Okay, all right. I'm probably safe up here rubbed in durian.
I mean,
Sarah
it's
looks
also
horrified.
a possum. I could kick it if it causes a problem.
I feel very safe.
And just as you're saying it's a possum, I could kick it if it's a problem. Just as you say that, you see a large, well, not large. I mean, like it's like the size of a tall dwarf, maybe. Possum steps out from the underbrush.
I'm still confident in my kicking abilities. Bring it. I'm ready.
And it looks at you and it says, "Oh, you're back."
Why the heck is there a talking possum? I'm scared. I'm actually very scared. As far as I knew,
you go rigid and
Yeah.
and paralyzed.
yeah,
huh?
I'm involuntarily very rigid. Like I am drooling, and you thought I smelled bad like durian before.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, miss. We have lost our memories. Please fill us in on what happened before.
Oh, well, Oliver, you and Hefty. Hi, Hefty. It's good to see you again, dear.
She's going to need a minute.
Yes, I can see that. Well, you and your friends here, Stone. It's so good to see you. And Stone kind of gives this like, sup, look at her. You came by a couple of weeks ago. You were here for my birthday. Thank you so much for being there and the kind gift. Tiger, Arthur, that was so sweet of you. and then you left, and I'm very sorry to tell you this, but Jeff died shortly after you left.
Remember, our memories got wiped. Who's Jeff?
Oh, right. Well, Jeff was like you. Well, not like you, but like your kind. He was two-legged, and he was living with us for a bit. I understand he had some falling out or something, and went to the woods. I don't know, but anyway, he was staying with us. He met the five of you and brought you back to stay overnight. And I'll be honest, I was a little hesitant. I'm not a big fan of your kind, but your kind, and she gestures at you, Oliver and Hefty. Your kind had helped us out before during the war with the squirrels, so I thought perhaps it would be all right. And then, well, after you left, well, then we found Jeff.
Well, do we know what happened?
Oh, it was gruesome, honestly. Let's walk back to the Warren, if that's all right.
Sure. How you doing, Hefty?
I cannot move.
Still okay.
Yep. I was
way,
the only talking possum that I knew.
By the way, Mama Possum does speak with an accent that the GM cannot manage, so I apologize for anyone who is a loyal listener and is wondering why she has lost her accent. She hasn't, but well, so the morning after you left, and I don't believe that this was you, of course, because honestly, I just can't imagine. Squirrels I could see doing this, but not someone like you. We found Jeff. He was hanged from a tree, and his legs had been cut off.
Oh, I'm seeing a pattern. In the last town we went through, the morning after we left, someone was found with their hands cut off.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know which is worse, legs or hands.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Well, that's even worse.
I wonder if it is one of us.
I suspect Stone.
Yeah?
What?
Or Sarah. Or Arthur.
Yeah, anyone but us. I mean, I feel like we need to interrogate our party members here.
Let's just leave them.
Won't get paid.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
thinking that.
except for the Sarah Desiree.
But what if she's one of them?
Get rid of her by dropping her off with her family.
I guess. But you don't want to solve this mystery?
That's the point of the game. All right, so
I feel like maybe you should use your ukulele skills here to maybe get them into a more talkative state.
I can draw aggro. It's one of my abilities. I'm going to intensely interrogate by accusing them of murder, Stone, Arthur, and Sarah, and my point is to work them up into a frenzy so they talk a lot.
Okay, pick one to start with. Pick one to start with, please.
Stone. It was you! Stone! We know it was you! It was you! You did it! You murderer! You killed them! And you cut off their hands and their feet! Murderer! This is draw aggro.
I love this, but so Stone kind of looks at you like you have sprouted a second head, and says, "No, I didn't. It wasn't me. I don't know who you think it could be." Just singing along with you.
Oh my God, we're doing the musical version. Okay, it's like that episode of Buffy.
She's saying her interrogation, so I felt like I needed to match it, or Stone did, because he's a singer.
Yeah.
So he didn't admit anything. I don't think any of them are going to. I don't think this is gonna work.
So,
What else can we do?
a core clue is that Stone does not think he did it.
Okay.
So your
core clues.
Again, your investigation is you will always get the core clue. Stone does not think he did it.
Well, he didn't think he went to Bramblebrook either. So I mean,
there's also that. There's a little bit of funny business going on with your brain, but yeah.
Interrogate the other two.
I think you should all empty your pockets because you're all liars and out of memory.
So,
you don't mean to lie, but you are. Who's got fingers and toes?
Ooh, we all do.
Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Show them.
So Sarah has no pockets. She's wearing an evening gown, just as a reminder. So she literally like pats her gown and says, I literally can't be carrying anything. You understand this, right?
Okay, you probably don't have a set of legs stuffed in that dress other than the one that you're walking on. So the other two.
And Arthur like
that
like opens
Oliver's
up
player.
Arthur like opens up his pockets. And he has many pockets. He's actually like, and he pulls out stones that he's been carving, and like, you know, a little bit of dust here and there. He says, I still can't find my tools though.
Maybe that's what was used.
Stones and dust. All right, what does Stone have?
Stone has a playbill for the last performance his band did in Nicomoy. And a little journal that he's been scribbling some music notes in. He's got a guitar pick, a half-eaten loaf of bread, which I'm going to assume you just confiscate, Hefty.
I do eat trash. I could eat that. So, more importantly, none of these people have the things they would need to cut off hands and legs, which is what I was actually looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mama Possum does have a katana.
Yeah. You have any ideas, Oliver's player? I don't think those are party members.
It's gotta be one of them, but they don't remember.
And not unless they can like karate chop off limbs. What do they do it with? There's no murder weapon. Unless they dropped
the jeweler's tools, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that are missing.
But do you think your jeweler's tools could... No. I don't know. I mean, painter doesn't have paintbrushes, and we know that they painted a painting at some point. So, like, we're missing items, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I got these stats. I'm going to use preparedness, which I have 4 points left in. And I'm going to spend...
Don't tell me what you're spending. Tell me what you want to do first.
Okay. All right. What I want to do is have prepared... It sounds like this person, Jeff, received a birthday present, a tiger's eye, from Arthur.
No. Let me clarify that. That is misinformation.
Okay.
Mama Possum received a birthday present from Arthur of a tiger's eye.
Okay.
It was her birthday.
But she doesn't still have it?
I didn't say that.
Is she wearing a tiger's eye?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't mean she doesn't still have it. It just means she's not wearing it.
Okay, so I want to have prepared... This is dumb because, like, I can't have prepared something I don't remember, so I don't... But it's my only stat. I don't know. Like a photograph of... I want to understand how Arthur and Mama Possum know each other. Maybe I should, like, shrink? I could shrink, and then I can, like, stare deeply into my eyes. You are remembering how you knew Mama Possum. Watch the back and forth movement of this medallion.
Okay, let's start with, okay, so it's you want to, so if you want to use preparedness for this, you can.
You could just ask Mama Possum.
You could just ask Mama Possum.
Yeah.
You could ask Arthur how he knows her. You could, but if you want to have like if you want to have prepared some kind of evidence that you will now find here, that would be preparedness. Preparedness is also like if you want to say, oh, while we were back in Bramblebrook, we looked for blank, right? That would be a preparedness role of just,
I think I want to
flash back to something.
No, I think it just makes the most sense to be like, I'm not going to ask how you can talk because I also can talk and it's a weird story. You can hear it in the April Fool's episode. But so I'm not going to ask how you can talk, but I am going to ask Mama Possum, how do you know Arthur?
Well,
she still has her memory, right?
Yeah. The same way I know the rest of you. You came and stayed here during my birthday celebration a couple of weeks ago.
Were we strangers to you before the birthday celebration?
Well, yes. Jeff found you in the woods and I guess befriended you, and you seemed to need a place to stay. He offered the hospitality of our village, and you stayed with us.
All right, so from the process of deduction, I can say that Arthur had the jeweler's tools at this point in time because Arthur made a tiger's eye, right?
That's probably a fair assumption. Yeah.
So we've learned at least one thing. We have missed the jeweler's tools at some point on our backtracking.
And if you want to have found them, that would be preparedness.
Oh. I do have 4 points left in that, and that would get us something. Should I do it?
Yeah, maybe it'll be a clue.
Okay. Let's have found those jeweler's tools somewhere along the way.
All right.
Should I spend points? So you said don't tell you how many points I spend?
I need to know what you're doing first, and then I set the difficulty for the flashback, and then you spend your points, and then you roll. That way, like if I set it at like 8, you want to spend all of them, right? If I set it at,
so you tell me the number before I decide.
Yeah, you should always wait for me to tell you the difficulty, because otherwise it's like you could be spending points without needing to, right? So, yeah. All right. So we're gonna say that this is a flashback to a previous location, and that you searched for and found these tools, right? Okay. Because you are definitely going to have found the tools, I'm going to actually make this pretty difficult. I'm gonna set it at a 7.
Okay, I have 4 points to spend, so I'm gonna spend those.
Yep.
Go down to 0. I'm gonna roll this d6.
Yep.
I got a 5, so I have a 9 overall.
All right. This gets a little gruesome for our listeners, but I know that Oliver and Hefty have no problem with this whatsoever. You disinterred the body of the sheriff of Bramblebrook as part of your investigation. And when you did, you found that the wounds that he had sustained, I mean, they were pretty gruesome and everything, but they were consistent with like a saw or some smaller cutting tool. And so you went searching, right? And you, in fact, found the jeweler's tools buried along the creek side.
Well, all right.
And there's a creek in the desert city?
You don't have a city without a creek in the desert.
Okay. It was buried in the water hole. Okay.
Okay, and the place we're in now is a forest, correct?
Mm-hmm. Several days later, more travel, etc.
And this is also the place where someone died.
And this is also a place where someone died.
I'm really glad I didn't let the dwarf talk to the kobolds.
Yeah. I'm going to try.
I was just mad at being called short, but now I'm like, this guy's a murderer.
I'm going to try to use some magic here.
All right.
Yeah.
I am going to attempt to tap into the trees, the network of roots connecting all the trees together, the fungi that communicate through the network in the bottom of every forest. And I am going to try to use the trees as my eyes and say, what happened here? How did he die? Who did it? What can you tell me?
Okay. All right. So tapping into the entirety of the forest. And that's a lot of information that you're looking for.
It is a lot.
I'm going to make that a 6.
A 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've got 5 points in magic. I'm going to spend them all.
All right. That's going to be an automatic success.
Okay.
Because
Perfect.
if you rolled a 1, you'd get a 6 that matches. There is no critical failure, critical success in Pocket Gumshoe.
Perfect. Forest,
right.
Tell me everything.
Okay. So the forest does not speak to you in words, but rather in images, right? And so you see yourselves at Mama Possum's birthday party. And it's quite the little forest party, honestly. You know, the possum village is celebrating with her. The possums are a little anxious around you to start out, but over the course of the evening, they loosen up. They seem to just love Hefty. Like, they see her as like a very small version of themselves. Because keep in mind, these possums, they're giant. They're like, they range from like 4 to 5.5 feet in size. These are not small possums. Like, these are magical creatures themselves. And the forest shows you that image and this sort of happy togetherness and everything. But every time you see Jeff, this apparently people call him a druid. Like, you hear him talking with you, and the two of you seem to have gotten along really well, because he claims to have been a druid and everything. But every time the forest shows you an image of him, there's almost this shadow around him.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Okay. And then the evening comes. You know, they're partying most of the night. They're possums, and sometime shortly before dawn, Jeff and Arthur are talking, and they leave the cave and they go outside into the forest. And the tree that Jeff was found hanging from can't speak to you. It's so deeply traumatized by what had happened. But the trees around it show you the murder.
Aha! And the murderer.
And the murderer.
What do you see? Oliver, who did it?
I think I know.
Who do you think did it?
I think we all did it.
I think it was Arthur.
I think we all did it.
He's tired of being a dwarf, so he got the hands and feet to make his arms and legs longer.
I think we're being magically controlled as a group, and I think we all did it, and Arthur may have cut the legs and arms off, but I think maybe...
Yeah, let's see.
You do see Arthur do it and absolutely ruin his tools, dismembering this body. It's clear that he's not doing this. He doesn't. It's almost like you can tell it's not him, you know, like the way he moves and the things he's doing just don't make sense.
So he's being controlled. Okay.
And also, he is humming as he does it.
Still no words to the song, right?
Nope, you don't know the words to the song yet.
Okay.
You're working on it, though.
All right. What do you think, Hefty? Should we share this information with Arthur?
Eek. I'm personally surprised we didn't all do it, because we seem to be a nice knit party, you know, hanging out. All right, so should we tell Arthur what Arthur did while Arthur can't remember? I mean, okay, so here's an ethical question for you, Oliver's player.
Mm-hmm.
If someone like forces you to pull a trigger by literally grabbing your hand and making your hand pull the trigger, didn't they actually do it? It's like if someone was controlling our bodies and that's why we don't remember anything.
Well, yes, and that's why I'm considering telling him.
Yeah, because you don't think he actually killed anyone. You just think he's being used as a tool to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I tell Arthur, hey, Arthur, we had found...
Wait. Set the scene for me. Where
Okay.
and how?
Well, I'm going to do it in the forest because it seems to be my strongest area. And we don't want necessarily the possums to know what's going on yet because I think Arthur might be controlled and innocent, so we don't want them to turn on him. And
are Stone and Sarah with you?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to tell everyone, the group, all right, we got a vision from the trees of...
This is the detective reveal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Of Arthur killing these people and taking off their limbs in some kind of mind-controlled state. Gasp.
Gasp. So Sarah looks absolutely horrified when you make this accusation, and she says, "Oh, that's horrifying. We've been traveling with a murderer." Stone takes like 5 steps away from Arthur as if the man has a disease that he could catch. And Arthur looks at you sort of bewildered, and just when you think he's about to like deny everything or whatever, right? He says almost in this otherworldly tone, "The blood of the runaway, the blood of the jailer, the soul of the dreamer, the soul of the awakened." And he lunges for you, Oliver.
Oh, well.
So it's on.
Lucky for me, I've got some points in Scuffle. Where's my character sheet? All right, yeah, I guess we're going to Scuffle. What's the DC here?
All right, so the DC normally for to hit a person, unless they have good athletics or armor, is a 3. I'm going to say that Arthur is basically an artisan. He does not have high athletics, and he's not wearing armor. The closest thing he has is a leather apron. So your difficulty here is 3 to hit him.
Okay. I'm just going to spend one of my scuffling points to get me a +1. And I am going to roll. That's a 5, so I didn't need it.
All right. And now you roll a d6 for his damage on him.
Also a 5.
Holy cow. All right. So what are you using? Like, are you just yeah, it's a lot. Are you just like smacking him? What are you doing?
Well, we're scuffling, so I'm going to say like he was charging at me. I'm going to say that I sidestepped and then put an elbow into the back of his head and sent him reeling on the ground. All
right. Well, you don't really like knock him out or anything, but from the ground, he grabs your legs to tackle you down. And so again, the difficulty to hit you, because your athletics is only 6, right? So the difficulty to hit you is also 3.
Okay.
So he rolled a 6, so he hits you pretty good. He does 4 points of health damage to you, Oliver. Mm-hmm. The two of you are now basically wrestling in the dirt. This is fun. What are you going to do?
So I did mention that we are in my strongest area. That's why I did it in the forest.
Yep.
So I don't know why.
You've used all your magic.
Well, I still have magic, right? I don't have to spend a point, do I?
Yeah. So for the listeners at home, magic is not actually in Pocket Gumshoe. This is one that I added because we have magical people in our game. And so it is a house rule. Normally we don't house rule with our games, but again, how do we deal with magic with a game that doesn't usually have it? This is my solution, and it's that you do actually have to spend a point to be able to use it.
Gotcha. So I cannot use any magic for the rest of the game.
You can use it for like flavor things, but generally no. If you want to like do something that is magical, you're going to need to spend a point.
What about I have a technical ability in forestry.
Great.
Could I use that right now?
So that's an investigative ability.
Not a combat ability.
Less so, yeah. Yeah. If there were something to learn here from him, which maybe there is, then it would be applicable.
Okay. No, I'm going to say, I guess we're just still doing scuffling then.
All right.
So can I use scuffling to do different things?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to remove
Except
a point
for
from
ranged,
scuffling.
then you would use shooting.
Yes. I am going to, as we're scuffling on the ground, I am going to grab a vine from the forest floor and attempt to restrain him with it.
Awesome. Perfect.
So this is when the GM would tell you the difficulty of that, and you would decide whether or not to spend a point
Yes.
before you roll.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to reserve some because I don't have very many left.
That's fine. So with since you're trying to restrain him, and normally to hit him is 3, and I'm just gonna leave it at 3 because I'm gonna interpret this as still basically scuffling, right? And
Okay.
you're essentially trying to take him out.
Something is weird with this dice roller. That is my third 5 in a row.
Nice. Okay, so you're going to successfully, tangle him up. Whether or not that is going to impede him is another story. Do you want to do? You're applying damage though here, right?
Oh yeah, I'm choking him out with it.
Choking him out. All right. Roll a d6 for your damage on him.
I'm going to reset this. That's another 5. Let me just...
See what's up.
5, 5, 4. Something's weird, but okay, we'll go with a 4.
Okay, so you did 4 then?
Yes.
Or 5.
I'm going to
Okay.
ignore the string of like 6 5s in a row. That seems like I'm just using like the Google dice roller, and it's just...
Listen,
giving
he's
me a lot
showing
of
us a
5s.
screen with a lot of 5s on it. It's not him.
Just to be clear, it's random. So sometimes that happens. But
I don't
if
need
you-
any accusations of cheating. So if somebody wants to roll the stats of getting like 6 5s in a row, I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, also there's only 6 possibilities on a d6. So
That's true.
right, yeah, okay, all right. So, give me 1 second. I gotta look something up really quick, which is about what happens in your health when you are at 0. Okay. All right. So he's definitely hindered in his attempts to fight back, as he's apparently losing consciousness. But he is going to take another. He's basically trying to punch you while you're strangling him. But because he is being choked out, his punch is very weak, and he's like ineffective in landing a solid punch or doing anything to you.
Okay.
What would you like to do? Keep strangling him?
Yeah, I think we got to get him to pass out, and then we're going
All
to
right.
tie him up.
Okay. Because you already have established this vine around his neck, I'm going to make it a little bit easier. So your difficulty to continue to apply this on him is going to be 2. It's not going to be hard at all. Don't spend points on this.
Okay, just a simple roll. Roll 6.
See, that's not a 5.
Yeah, it's not a
and then,
5.
And then roll damage.
4.
Okay. All right. So eventually, because you've got the upper hand here, you do in pretty short order, you knock Arthur out. You've taken a little bit of scuffling health damage, but overall, you're okay. Arthur's unconscious. You've got vines. You can tie him up.
Yeah, I'm going to tie him up.
Okay. And now what?
Hefty, what do you think? What should we do with him?
I feel bad. I feel like he's still under the control of the thing that controlled us. I don't feel like this is the mastermind, just a tool, like a puppet.
Did he seem under control right now?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And they do seem like a danger to themselves and the people around them.
The possums didn't have a jail, did they?
No. not at all. They're possums. Their form of justice is swift and final.
Fair.
Sarah suggests, I think we should turn him over to the authorities. This is beyond our pay grade for sure.
I'm inclined to agree. We just have to find some authorities.
All right. So Rhett's Woods and Possum Village is not that far from Nicomoy now.
Yes.
So you could probably take him back to Nicomoy if you consider that to be the authority.
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Hefty, when the fighting started, obviously you halted, right?
Yeah. Involuntary response.
Yep. But the fighting's over, and you get a little time to calm down and everything. And what do you think is the best way to transport Arthur back to Nicomoy?
I mean, available way, like, it's not like we have a wagon, or a horse, or the possums are big, but I don't know if they're big enough to put a bound Arthur on their back. What do you think, GM? Is that feasible? You said they were dwarf size, so that'd be like one person carrying another. Doesn't sound like a mount.
I bet you could convince them. What do you think?
We could string up a rudimentary sled made of vines and attach a couple of them.
The problem is we don't have wheels. So, yeah,
No.
we're either carrying or dragging this person.
It would be a sled, not a wagon.
Yeah, so we're dragging this person over the ground. Might as well try to convince a possum to carry it for us.
Okay.
Or we could leave them tied up and then make the authorities come get them. I bet they have a wagon.
Probably. He might get away, though.
Yeah. We could send Stone. Aren't they well-liked and popular?
Yes.
Aren't we really close to the city?
You're pretty close.
Can we just be like, Stone, go get the cops?
So you probably want to send Sarah. Stone is not cool with cops.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Stone is too cool to be cool with cops.
Oh, I thought they were like a popular musician.
He is.
Okay.
That's the point.
More of a Rage Against the Machine kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit,
I'm a little worried Sarah's going to get herself arrested. Okay. If the GM suggests Sarah, I'll go with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like Sarah has very serious my dad's a lawyer energy.
Yeah. Go get us a paddy wagon.
Is anybody going to go with her? Remember, you want her reward money.
She said she was good for it, right?
Maybe you should go with her and I'll do guard duty on Arthur.
I am pretty useless at guard duty on Arthur.
But you are the brains behind the operation. Good to keep Sarah on track.
Okay, I'll keep Sarah on track. So I'm just going to be like, Sarah, do you have a purse as part of that gown? You had no pockets in the gown. So no, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. Can we have a vine purse?
Yeah, I'll make you one.
Sweet. It's like a wicker basket.
Yeah.
Can it be big enough for me?
Of course.
Sweet. You have like a pet chihuahua? That's a possum.
Well, that's different, but I suppose I thought you were going to drape across my shoulders like you did for Oliver, but that's fine.
You want that?
Oh, yes. Possum fur is all the rage this year.
I don't want this anymore. Yeah, I'm in the purse.
All right. Okay. So you head back towards Nicomoy with Sarah, and you go to Elysium Fields, where she goes first to her parents, to her family estate, and then to the local constable. So she's, cleaned up and already reported to her family that you had rescued her out there in the wilderness.
I am curious, did she leave voluntarily or are her parents thinking she's missing?
They had no idea where she was, and as you're coming in, you actually find missing posters with like a drawing of her and description and a reward offered. So like whether she left on her own or not, they didn't know where she was, and she upholds the story that you guys rescued her. So you are given a very, very tidy sum of what's our currency in Nicomoy? Are these coins or dollars? Yeah. Of
I don't know what a gold coin is.
I always thought it was gold, but okay.
Yeah, but what does that mean? 200 gold. Like, okay, I'll buy a milkshake with that.
Conversions at some point and like.
Yeah, and everybody did them different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were telling me like 50 gold was an average like annual salary and.
See, this is why we could use dollars and not have a problem.
So my understanding is that we don't really like currencies all over the place. And I kind of see it as like, this is a very cross-cultural city. So maybe there's like all kinds of currencies in circulation here anyway, sure. Right? Maybe the Bank of Nicomoy is working in dollars and like people are trading whatever coin they come across too, right?
Yeah, the currency mattered when we played D&D all the time, but since we switched to like different games every time, it's whatever.
Historically in Dungeons and Dragons, gold was levels. So there's this really nice guide of like your level this is how much gold you should have, you know. So like and like it mattered for which magic items you got. But since we started playing like random systems, now I'm just like, okay, is that enough to pay my rent or not? You know,
yeah. So the amount that you guys get is equivalent to like 2 months worth of rent, and
it's like $4,000.
Is like, well, I mean, depends on on where you live, I suppose, but you know, like it's enough to be comfortable for a couple months.
Okay,
all right.
I'm writing 5K.
That's fine, and and they send a well, it's Elysium Fields, so they sent a carriage to pick up Arthur and Stone and Oliver.
Is this like a paddy wagon, or is this like a rich person's joyride? Because no, I'm looking for bars.
Yeah, well, so this is the Elysium Fields constabulary. Right. So it's really more like a carriage, but they're well trained and they're well armed. So, you know.
Yes. Okay. That's perfect.
They're used to guarding rich people. And you come back to Nicomoy finally having solved maybe not the mystery that you were hoping to solve. Like what happened? Why were you on that road to begin with? But you did bring justice to the slain sheriff and Arthur, who it turns out was less druid and more in witness protection. But that's okay. That's a story for another time.
Woo!
I'm really sorry that somebody used your body to do this, Arthur, and I really hope they don't hold you personally responsible for it, and I will help testify that there was a fugue state, at least for me, involved.
Arthur thanks you, won't talk to Oliver at all, and he seems to be very, very troubled on the way back.
Yeah, like, what puppet mastering evil fiend did this to us? What the heck?
Yeah, definitely something to explore.
I guess we'll just have to play Pocket Gumshoe again.
Yeah. All right, you've been listening to Fire Breathing Kittens with Hefty. And Oliver.
Sayonara.
And me, the GM. Thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.